Yeah, I think we didn't even have to talk about it. When we found out this shared parental leave was available, we sort of each knew we'd do it. We didn't know exactly how we'd split it, but it was just like a no-brainer for us. We were going to do it and make it work. Yeah.
Both of our dads were full-time parents for quite a while. So my dad looked after me and my sister for about a year and a half, 2 years before he went to school. And he found, and this was in the mid-80s, he found there were like mothers and babies clubs, and he would be there and he'd be the only dad. And I thought it'd be quite interesting to see, how much had changed, if anything, and also for our family, I think that kind of equality is a message we quite like to talk about in the future with our kids and for us personally.
Yeah, and similarly for me, my dad was like the stay-at-home dad when we were growing up. So he was the one who was taking us to school and working in the canteen. He was the only dad around. But I just thought that was normal. It's only been later when I've been talking to friends about it, that they'll be like, oh, that's really interesting, your dad was at home. But I just thought that was normal. I think like before Luke was born, we'd talked about splitting it 50-50 and that I'd do 6 months and Ian would do 6 months. But then when it came closer to 6 months, I was like, oh, I'm not ready to go back to work yet. And I knew it was important for Ian that he wanted to take it. And we'd sort of said like it wouldn't be worth him doing it if it was for less than 3 months. So then we came to this compromise where I took 8 months off and then Ian took the last 4 months off. And I think it worked pretty well, actually. Yeah. Sometimes I think Ian got the better end of the deal because Luke was obviously, at 8 months old, a bit more interactive and fun. But then I guess the flip side was he was eating then, and that creates lots of mess, and he's probably could get a bit grumpier and have a few tantrums as well.
I feel I've got a closer bond with Luke. I also feel I can cope with him screaming in the middle of the night a lot better. I feel I've got a better handle on what Amy went through in the first 8 months and vice versa, I think. So, I've had a really rubbish day because Luke decided he didn't want to nap at all and now he's really grumpy and I just want to sit on the sofa and eat cake, and just kind of have 5 minutes to myself, whereas previously, and now I get that and totally understand why. Whereas coming home, initially I'd be a bit perplexed about, well, why don't you want to spend time with him? Because I'd be coming at it from I wouldn't know what kind of day had been going on.